fond of him. Kobby and his family.
Good, Kobe's.
Just very, very sad and tragic. He still had a lot to put forth in the public eye. He was very heavily invested in telling children's stories and storytelling as he moved on from baseball life. Won an Academy Award a year or so ago for a documentary. And it's just a terrible story and a tragic ending to a man who was not only a great basketball player, but a tremendous father and had done so much for a lot of folks.
I know this is so early on in the investigation, but have you heard anything from his family since you were close to them?
God damn it.
Do we know if, heaven forbid, they were on that helicopter with him, or is it just too soon to say?
I have none of this information in details. The only information that I've gotten is from what I read on TMZ. And
Fuck.
a few minutes about any of that information that no, I haven't heard from anybody.
Understood. This just happened, so not a problem. Tell me a little bit about basketball player. I mean, even if you didn't follow basketball all that closely, you know who Kobby Bryant is. I mean, just one of the all-time greatest players of all times. What are you going to remember him for on the court?
I'm going to remember him for his dedication, his determination, his myopic view of wanting to win. That was foremost in his personality. He was a competitor, a fierce competitor. He had a drive, a determination through hard work and dedication to his father, Jelly Bean, and was a player in the NBA for San Diego Clippers.
It's on Fox News, man. They're reporting live. It's new. It's legit.
Not only his father, but seeing all the greats that his father was able to play with, including Dr. J, Julius Erving, Lionel Hollins, World Be Free, and just a lot of players that are household names that Kobby saw and he grew up idolizing and watching Michael Jordan, and then got to come into the league and play against Jordan famously in an all-star game early in his career. Just passed the torch last night when LeBron James passed him on the third all-time leading scorer. Humble in doing so with LeBron. Kobby Bryant is on the Mount Rushmore.
No, it's not fake. It's real.
And he's sitting up there with Michael Jordan and LeBron James, Will Chamberlain, and Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. But he is he's going to be very, very sorely missed.
I like that, the Mount Rushmore of basketball players. We're getting additional confirmations. Variety is now confirming the report from TMZ, and we're learning a little bit more about exactly what may have happened. Kobby Bryant was apparently traveling from Newport Beach, California, to the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles in what is believed to be his personal helicopter when the aircraft caught on fire. At least 3 other people were on board when the helicopter crashed. Pardon my ignorance here, Jim, but did Kobby live in the California or in the Newport Beach area?
Would regularly travel by helicopter to Staples, even when he was playing. It was quite well known the mode of transportation for him, so it enabled him and his family to live. Which could be, anywhere from a 45-minute, I guess, to an hour and a half, 2-hour drive, depending on traffic in Southern California, to get to downtown Los Angeles from Newport Beach, just depending on what time he did it. So he was regularly in a helicopter. Can't tell you the number of hours, but it's got to be up in the thousands of hours that he had been in helicopters. So it was not anything new for him.
Yeah,
and
man,
right
it is true.
Our viewers are looking at videos from the scene. You can see another helicopter obviously circling the site of this crash. fire trucks rushing to the scene. We know that the NTSB is also now en route. And just a little bit of perspective in terms of Kobby Bryant's dominance on the basketball court. Just last night, LeBron James passed Kobby Bryant for third on the NBA's career scoring list. You hear the names LeBron James, Kobby Bryant. I mean, they really are, as you said, Jim, on the Mount Rushmore of basketball greats. But off the court, tell us a little bit about the Kobby Bryant that perhaps not everybody got to see as up close as you did.
Well, Kobby was deeply dedicated to whatever task was in front of him. Very much committed to his family. They just gave birth to he and his wife, Vanessa. She gave birth earlier this summer to their fourth girl. He
So
was
their
very
fourth
involved.
child, you said?
Fourth child, yes, all girls. It was
No, he wasn't alone. He was with four other people.
Little girls, and his wife Vanessa, and he was very committed to them. Would regularly games with his daughter. Whenever his older daughter is a basketball player, and so shown tremendous promise. So his family was very, very important to him. He was very committed, as I said, to his new projects, which were storytelling. He wanted to tell basketball in a way to the next phase of his life, and stayed close with the Lakers. The Lakers general manager, Rob Pelinka, his longtime agent, took over as the general manager a couple of years ago. I'm sure he stayed in close contact with the game, but wasn't trying to put his imprint on it in terms of trying to own or manage a team. But stayed in close touch with the Lakers and Pelinka, and it's just it's hard to come up with words right now. Quite frankly, it's summing up the life of a man who was I don't know Kobe's age, but he's a very young man. But I don't know what is Kobe, 41, 42?
41 years old. And, Jim, we're learning a little bit more about the environment surrounding the cause of this crash. It happened shortly before 10 a.m. local time in California. The Sheriff's Department is saying that the crash ignited a fire, which made it difficult for firefighters and emergency personnel to get to the aircraft. And you can see it. I mean, it's tough to see in all that smoke and fog. And it was quite a bit of foggy Calabasas when the helicopter went down, but clearly it must have been difficult flying conditions for the pilot, but also clearly continues to be very difficult conditions for the first responders to try to get to and assess the scene. I just like to reset for folks who are just now tuning in. We have learned, and there are reports, that Kobby Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players of all times, has reportedly died in a helicopter crash along with 4 other people. The helicopter crash happened in Calabasas. We believe that Kobby Bryant was flying on his personal helicopter from his home to a location that is still to be determined, and at some point there was what appeared to be a fire on the helicopter, and that brought the helicopter down to the point where you are seeing right now a thick plume of smoke coming from the hills of Calabasas, California, on a very foggy day there. And Jim, it's hard to put words to. It's really hard to believe. This is one of the greatest basketball players that ever lived, and also just a giant in the Los Angeles, California area. I mean, it's hard to think of people that were more beloved by people who live in Los Angeles than Kobby Bryant.
Well, you said that exactly correct. He won 5 championships as a Laker, and who was always going to be tied to that organization and to the NBA. No one will ever forget the championships that he won with Shaquille O'Neal. They had a very famous parting of the ways, and Shaquille left the organization. Kobe Kobby had asked to be traded. Dr. Jerry Buss, who owned the team, kept him there, and he went on to win 2 more championships, combining with Pau Gasol. And Kobby, to a certain extent, wanted to be able to show that he was not just the guy who was going to win with Shaq. And so they had a very famous divorce, and they patched it up quite well in recent years, both recognizing that they were young and that they were probably much better together than they were alone. But Kobby did prove that to himself, winning 2 championships. Phil Jackson was the coach at that time. He had come back into coaching after his stint with the Chicago Bulls. And then Kobby Bryant on his final evening, when he retired a few years ago, put up 60-plus points in his final game at the Staples Center, coming back from an Achilles injury, which would have ended many people's career. But Kobby worked really, really hard with Dr. Neil Elitrage. Came back and didn't want to go out. He was a remarkable basketball player, and
such resilience, Jim. And, you know, in addition to all of these stats that we could rattle off about Kobby Bryant, the basketball player, as you said, Kobby Bryant now survived by his wife, Vanessa, and their 4 daughters, Gianna, Natalia, and Bianca, and their newborn daughter, Capri. Such a terrible story that we are learning about, and now ESPN has confirmed that Kobby Bryant, one of the all-time basketball greats, has died in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. The cause still under investigation. First responders just getting there. The NTSB is on its way, and we believe 4 other people were also killed in this helicopter crash. But one of the all-time greatest basketball players dead today at just 41 years old.